Hey everybody, so welcome back to my channel. I am going to be talking about my second trimester today. I uploaded my first trimester last week and I'm doing it so fast because I'm actually in my third trimester and I just decided to start recording, so I'm kind of behind, so I'm catching up. That way, once baby is here in potentially the next 5 to 8 weeks, I will be able to upload my third trimester kind of like more in real time. And so I talked to you guys about my first trimester last week, and second trimester will be today. So my name is Betsy, if you guys haven't seen me before, and I would definitely go back to my channel and just look at the first trimester if that's something that interests you, and sort of go from there. But if you are in your second trimester, or if you're just sort of looking for anything about pregnancy, then keep watching this video. But I did do first trimester, and so that is on my channel if you want to see it. So I'm just going to jump right in, kind of like I did last week. And I actually took the time to write things down. I need to learn how to sort of slow down. I'm talking really fast. I don't hear myself talk really fast, but I think I am because I get winded. But I think that's also because I have no space for my lungs anymore. So it might just be that he's bigger now. So I'm sorry if I get breathy. But so I talked about my first trimester, and I sort of just went through symptoms, and what I did was I didn't really record my symptoms super well in my first trimester, and so I just sort of Googled common first trimester symptoms because I didn't really have the most textbook first trimester. It was definitely a lot easier than some women have, and so I honestly couldn't remember that whole time and everything that went on. So what I did for this trimester is I just sat down and I looked back at those weeks from like 13 to like 28 and wrote down sort of what the common symptoms were from my app that I use and that tracks my pregnancy. And then I just sort of jotted down everything that I felt definitely coincided with my second trimester. And the second trimester is definitely more fresh in my mind since I'm 32 weeks tomorrow. So I'm newly into my my third trimester. I'm like a month in. Well, I guess that's not newly, but yeah. So some of the symptoms I felt sort of like as soon as I hit that second trimester. Now I had some overlap, of course, and I think probably everyone does in things, and certain things just continued from first trimester, you know, as I think is normal. But kind of once we were in our second trimester, I felt like I was sort of seeing a difference in my body more than I was in the first trimester. So I started to get stretch marks, and I felt like my bump was sort of forming. Now the bump forming was sort of around 14 weeks, and I can put a photo in I took because I felt like, wow, I did not look like this last week. And that's happened again in my 3rd trimester, so I'll share that. But I just felt like, wow, I am a lot different. Like, my body is a lot different than it was in my 1st trimester. So I'll put a picture there. So that was like 14 weeks. I was a little bloated, but like up to then, but I really felt like, wow, that's not just bloat, sort of at that 14-week mark. And that was really exciting for me. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm actually like growing a human, and you can tell. And it was really exciting for me, the further along I've gotten, how much I enjoy that people can see visibly that I'm pregnant. In that 1st trimester, and really a pretty good chunk of the 2nd trimester, you don't really look pregnant, or at least I didn't. I'm a pretty small person. I'm tall, but I'm like lean and athletically built because of the sport that I do. And so I didn't really feel like I looked pregnant. And so it was really nice when I started to actually get a bump, because it was like, oh, I'm not just chubby, or I'm not just bloated. You can look at me and actually, I'm pregnant, which was so cool. And now I get asked all the time when I'm due, but like, and I like that. But that was really cool that the bump was starting to form. Hopefully I can say this on YouTube. I think I can, but my areolas started to get bigger. Like, they look like huge and darker. And I think I said something about this in my 1st trimester video, because it did, I think, start happening in the 1st trimester, but like more in the 2nd. And then my biggest things about my boobs and I guess my body in general, were stretch marks. So I have developed stretch marks all over my boobs and all over my legs and hips, like my thighs and up onto my hips, and now onto my butt. But I don't think I had those in my 2nd trimester. I don't know. I noticed them, I think, at 30 weeks. But it might be that they've been there and I just didn't know it, and my husband didn't say anything. So, I don't think I had the stretch marks on my butt until 3rd trimester, but who knows? I may have. And then kind of around 18 weeks, I started noticing colostrum in my boobs, which I was sort of surprised by, because your milk supply doesn't like actually come in until after baby is born. But around, I think it changes, like, it's different for everybody, but 18 weeks is a pretty standard time for it to start occurring, is that you're starting to produce colostrum and create colostrum in your milk ducts. And up through, like, it just sort of was something I noticed because I was leaking, and now I'm just used to it at this point, and I have stained a lot of shirts now, and it's just become a thing for me. But at the start, I had heard of it happening, so I wasn't like, oh my god, why is this happening? I haven't had the baby yet. So I wasn't like alarmed. I knew it was going to happen at some point, but I was a little bit surprised. But my midwife was super excited when I first told her, because she was like, oh, that's great, because if you're producing it already, then it will probably make breastfeeding way easier for you, because you're going to have that supply. So that's really good. And you don't do anything about it. It's just there. Like, I don't collect it or anything, because stimulating the production of it can cause labor. And nobody wants their baby too early, so definitely not at 18 weeks. So I pretty much just ignore it, is what I do. But it's there. This was second trimester was when I started to feel baby, so that was exciting. It was like 17 or 18 weeks. I felt like, I feel like there's something moving that I'm not used to, and it sort of felt like gas bubbles, so I was like, I don't know if it's gas bubbles or if it's baby. And at my 20-week appointment for the anatomy scan, I had been telling my husband, I was like, I am pretty sure that I am feeling him move. Like, pretty sure. And he was like, I feel like it's early, blah, blah, blah. Because I know a lot of women for their first babies did not feel it. Feel their baby for, you know, a lot longer than that. And so it was kind of interesting. I felt him 17 or 18 weeks. I wasn't positive it was him, but I felt like that was probably him. And it was, which was validated at the 20-week appointment when he would move and I could actually see him moving. And so the visual with the feeling validated that for me, which was really cool. I liked that I could see him move and actually correlate the feeling. Now he moves all the time and I just know that he's moving, but that was a really cool experience. I started to get some like cramping in my calves, which was really just that I needed to drink more water. So I really just needed to up my water intake in this second trimester, which I also had issues with my first trimester, but it was even more ramped up in my second trimester that I really needed to drink even more. And that really helped with the leg pain, and some back pain. Back pain, I had a week where it was like 26 to 27 weeks. It was like a full week where I barely slept. I actually went and saw my midwife and had an ultrasound and had to get tested for a kidney or bladder infection because she thought that there was like something really going on, like either I had a stone or I had an infection, because I had the worst pain in one centralized spot on my back. And it was actually not even where my kidneys are, but she wanted to just be safe and test me. It turned out fine. She told me it was probably indigestion and to cut out certain foods. Now, it went away. It just went away after a week. But I had a few nights where it was so bad, and I am somebody that can sleep through like anything. I don't wake up for like anything. I do now. I wake up a lot to go to the bathroom, but it's not something that was normal for me. Like, I'm one of those people that will sleep through pain, and the pain was waking me up. So I am not necessarily convinced it was indigestion. I'm wondering if I had actually injured my back handling an ill-behaved horse, and he pulled on me really hard the day before the pain started. And I actually think that I damaged a muscle in my back because it was to the right of my spine, basically in the center of my back. And I actually think that I damaged the muscle and I was having muscle spasms, not indigestion, because it was in my back, which apparently that can happen, but it just didn't feel characteristic of indigestion to me at all. But it ended up going away, but it lasted a week, and it was literally the most intense pain I've ever felt in my life for the entire week. And then it went away. And so I don't know what it was, but it was in that one specific spot and never moved. And she kept telling me it was a gas bubble. but it never moved. And then it just went away. If you guys have ever experienced that, let me know. And if you know what it is, let me know. Because that was super weird, kind of traumatic. But so far, really the only thing that's been like, oh my God, this is miserable. And it was only a week. I survived. But there were a few moments where I thought, I need to wake up my husband and he needs to take me to the ER because this is not normal. And then it went away and I was fine, and I'm still fine. So it's I guess a mystery, and nobody can figure it out. Everyone's just happy that it went away. So, and I'm happy that it went away. Sort of near the beginning of my second trimester, so back, I think, like 15 weeks and sort of before then, I was a little bit emotional. That's super normal, like as a first sign of pregnancy, I think. I wasn't super emotional in my first trimester. I was very emotional in my second, like for a very short period of time, like a couple of weeks. And it was just like, sort of, I think I got really upset a few times because we were having dinner that I didn't want to eat. Like, he made chicken and I didn't want chicken, and that made me cry. Like, that sort of thing. So it was like, this is so stupid. Why am I, you know, crying over chicken? But nothing like, I was not Godzilla or anything. I started wearing maternity clothes around the second trimester. I think probably like 16, 17 weeks, I got some maternity clothes because I felt like my clothes were uncomfortable and I was bloated and I could not fit into my clothes. And so now I pretty much just live in maternity leggings. And they're godsend. Okay. Oh, I run a lot warmer now. Like, my husband really likes hot showers, and we usually shower on the same day, and basically we'll like, he'll shower and then I'll get in as soon as he's done showering, and it's so hot. Like, he likes it way too hot, and it's so funny because I used to like it really hot and he'd always have to turn it down. But now, I cannot stand how hot it is for him, even though it's less warm than when I used to shower before pregnancy. And that's, I think, really common too, because like you're not supposed to take a hot bath. You can't go into a hot tub, you know, stuff like that. And so it was probably just my body's way of telling me, no, that's like actually too hot for your baby. So turn it down. And I myself get too hot now. Like, it's winter now, so I don't really have too much of an issue being too hot because it's like always cold. But a few times this winter, actually, like in the past couple weeks even, we've had it be too hot in the house for me, and I'm the only one that feels like it's too hot in the house. So it's definitely pregnancy causing the heat in my body. I started having really bad pelvic pain, like sort of muscular pain, and it was suggested to get a belly band, and I also got a exercise ball so I can do some exercises to sort of help my hips and my pelvis loosen up and become more elastic, which is really good for birth because we're planning an unmedicated either a water birth or, you know, land birth, but unmedicated at a birth center, as natural as possible. And so I really need to have, you know, looseness in my hips, and I have always been sort of tight in my hips. So I definitely recommend the belly band. I definitely recommend the exercise ball, and you can look up on YouTube or wherever, like, videos or exercises, pregnancy exercises for an exercise ball or something like that, and just do very simple exercises. I do suggest to make sure that you don't do it when you don't have somebody around. Like, I don't get on the exercise ball without my husband around. I can sit on it because I have the balance to sit on it, but I do not do exercises on it unless I have him with me, because I don't want to fall off of it and, you know, get hurt, and be all alone. So that is one thing. But the belly band has really helped because it just sort of relieves the pressure of him sitting all on my pelvis, which obviously he's going to do that, but it just relieves some of the pressure because it takes some of the weight off there. Let's see. I started to get shoulder pain, but only in my left shoulder. So I think that I have something going on with my posture, and I definitely think I should go to the chiropractor for it, but I haven't, because it costs money with my insurance, and so I haven't done that. But I have looked up some exercises, just like with the exercise ball, and sort of just working on my posture has helped that. Shortness of breath, which I already said something about. That's just normal because baby's growing and moving your organs around, and so you don't really have as much space in there for your organs, and so that causes shortness of breath. Heartburn, same thing. There's just not very much space and things don't move through as easily, and so really I was told eat more bland foods if you're experiencing heartburn, and just be more careful what you're putting into your body. And that's very true. Be more careful. I think I said in the first trimester video that basically you're just surviving, which sounds really bad, but that's the basic concept, is you eat whatever you can keep down and don't worry as long as you're eating, because you just need sustenance and you need to just, you know, keep going and keep your body going. In the second and third, you need to ramp up what you're putting in your body. So actually thinking about, is this actually healthy for me and baby? And so things that are going to cause you heartburn, you probably shouldn't eat. Now, women do get cravings and want certain things, and those things might cause you heartburn. But I think in a sense, sort of trying to be a little bit better about that, knowing what does cause the heartburn and cutting that out as much as possible. And what really helped me was actually not cooking with oil. That was a big trigger, which I didn't realize, was cooking with oil can cause heartburn, or pretty much will cause heartburn. And so I actually started cooking with butter. Basically, I just make an omelet for myself almost every day, and I was using oil for my omelet in the pan, and I changed it to butter, and I have not had heartburn after breakfast since then. I didn't change what I was eating, I was just changing the fact that I used butter instead of oil. So even things like that, which I didn't think of until my midwife said it. I had a few headaches, however, not unbearable. It was like, just like my leg cramps, I really just needed to drink water. Nothing to do with high blood pressure or, you know, any, like medical problems. It was just that I was not drinking enough. So when I get a headache, I drink more, and it goes away and I feel a lot better. I did have sciatica, and I don't think I said something about that in the first trimester video. And I think it was worse in the first trimester than in the second, but I had it throughout first and second trimesters. I guess not throughout, but I think from the start of pregnancy until like 18 or 19 weeks. I have not had sciatica since, but I had really bad sciatica to the point of like, I'd be walking to the supermarket and my leg would give out. It was always just on my right side. My right leg would just give out, and like I would nearly fall. It was such bad pain. And I would limp around too, like it was like a constant thing. But then it went away, and I have not had that problem since. The last thing I've experienced, which has followed me through 2nd to 3rd trimester, is brain fog. Brain fog. So just my memory has not been great, which is super, super normal. It's baby brain, and it happens to the best of us. So, and all this stuff happens to the best of us. Don't get me wrong. Like, everything is, you know, everybody's journey is different, but all of this stuff, for me anyway, like, it wasn't so bad that, you know, it was like a traumatic experience. It was just, you know, normal symptoms. Nothing was exasperated or anything. But yeah, brain fog. And honestly, you can probably tell because I try to, you know, get words out and get sentences out and not make a 30-minute video, but then my brain shuts off. But I think I did pretty well because that was the last thing on my list, and I actually am going to try to upload this basically unedited. Like, if I can completely just send it to YouTube as soon as I hit pause, that will be awesome, and I think I will, because I don't really feel like I need to edit it a ton, like I did last week. So I will insert in my thumbnail just my, like, probably my 14-week and my 28-week, or, well, 27, I guess, because 28 is like 3rd trimester, I guess, but I'll insert my 14-week and my 27-week pictures of my bump. And so that's like the start of the 2nd trimester to the end of the 2nd trimester. And then, my 20-week ultrasound picture as well in the thumbnail, so you guys can see what I looked like. And then I think I'm gonna try to upload another video next week. I just don't know what it's gonna be. I'm going to think about it. I think I might do either my IUD removal or maybe getting my hospital bag ready. I don't know, because I need to do that now. I do need to do my hospital bag. So maybe I'll make a video while I'm doing it, because I'll be 33 weeks, and I guess I might as well start thinking about getting my hospital bag ready. Okay. So I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. I think it will be either Thursday or Friday next week. I'm trying to upload the day that I video, but that didn't happen last week at all. It's going to happen this week. I'm going to upload today. That way there's a new video each week. But I'm trying to get on top of that and trying to figure out content. If you see this and there's certain content that you would like, just let me know. Anything to do with my pregnancy journey, and I am happy to talk about it. All right, see you guys in the next video.